let's have a conversation.
What's happening, everybody? I did say that I was going to do this live outside, but unfortunately, I mean, it's nice outside, but it's a little cold and it's windy. So, A, I don't want to be cold, and B, you wouldn't be able to hear me. So, I'm actually doing this live in my car. I'm going to be on for maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And this is my offering for today. I want to say today is day 80. I could be off, but I think that we're day 80. We're on or around day 80. It's been a lot of days. That's the point. We are about 4/5 of the way through the season, and a regular season would be ending within the next few days. Like, it would be ending this week type of thing, but not this season because we got 100 days on our hands. Hey, Cass. Hey, Debbie. Normally I check up on the feeds a little bit, but I have not checked on the feeds today. That's because I wasn't really in the mood to go through the whole loop of scenarios. Oh, we don't trust Serena. Felicia was more forthcoming in telling us, and we're the ones in power all the time. So they have to come to us and make us feel secure, because if we feel insecure for a second, they're the next target. Blah, 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 blah. There's only so much of that I can listen to and make theories about, because there's no theory to it. Whoever wins is going to get to the final 2 chairs in terms of whoever wins competitions. It doesn't matter about alliances. It doesn't matter about loyalty. It just matters about who wins competitions. We are watching the competition show at this point. That's it, and that's all. So there's something I was going to say. I had this on my mind at the beginning. I made a post. Let me try to center this a little bit. Okay. Hi, Tasha. So I made a post about the winner's circle on my community page. And I said how Derek and Cody, but particularly Derek, Cody agreed with him, but it was particularly Derek who brought this up, who was like, Blue is a flop. She's not good at the game, and she's been a disappointment. He kind of went in on Blue, and he said, I don't care. You can roast me in the comments. You can think whatever you think. I don't have a problem with Derek or Cody saying that she's a flop. I don't have a problem with them saying she hasn't been good at the game, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something that I do have a problem with, though. I watched the Winner's Circle season preview. I think before they had given us a cast list or anything. They said, we've been involved with all the process of what's happening with Big Brother 25. We've been in contact with production. We as in Derek and Cody. Yeah, it's getting redundant. So we as in Derek and Cody have been in contact with production, and we're going to be involved in everything coming up. So then they say, oh, we're going to have some big TikTok stars and social media influencers on the show. They said this before. And a lot of people in the comments were like, we don't want social media influencers on the show like that. We don't want a whole bunch of recruits. We want people who know how to play the game of Big Brother. So Derek and Cody tried to sell us on the fact that there have been notable recruits that have done very good at the game. As an example, I mean, I think Taylor was pretty much a recruit. I think that Turner and Monty barely knew anything about Big Brother. Yeah, Turner said that he started watching. I think he said BB21 was the first season that he ever watched. Monty had only seen a couple of seasons. Taylor had only seen a couple of seasons, and they were good TV. They were entertaining. They were dramatic. You know. So yeah, there is an argument that there has been recruits or people that don't know the game of Big Brother who have been very entertaining on Big Brother. And as a matter of fact, if you go back to season 1, there was no such thing as Big Brother before season 1. So everything that you saw anybody do on the first season of Big Brother was brand new. The only thing production did was put the game together and pick people that they thought were interesting, personality traits, diverse backgrounds, and just throw them in the house, and they're going to do whatever they have to do to win this game. There was nothing to reference. Oh, my game style is going to be like this. I would try to win the game by playing like this person. Because there was nobody to compare it to. So it's not necessarily that you can't have recruits that are good at a game. What has America done in the game other than being in a showmance? I think she's a flop as well. I think a lot of them are flops. Stop watching it. That's what can be done. I'm through with it. And keep in mind, America is supposed to be a super fan. That's why America is one of the most disappointing to me. So yeah, they tried to sell us. So I specifically remember Derek saying, he was like, oh, don't jump out the window because they have recruits. He was just like, you guys have to understand, there's a business to run. So he said like Frankie Grande, he mentioned Frankie Grande being kind of a recruit. And he mentioned some other people, and he was like, these people were really good recruits. So give it a chance. He said they have a business to run, and getting the recruits on the show, it's going to bring viewers. They need viewers to keep the show going. So we have to accept that they're going to have recruits and social media stars, social media influencers on the show. So they tried to sell us on the fact that the show was going to be really good. And I have to be honest, I think they're smarter than that. And I think a part of the reason that they were trying to sell us on the season is because the success of the Big Brother season impacts a stream of their income because they are covering it. That's the reason why I can say the things that I say and cover it the way that I want it to, the way that I want to cover it. And certain other people have problems with that because for other channels, we're talking about sponsorships. We're talking about brand deals. The show being good is tied to a portion. I'm not going to say it's like their whole income, but you know, this is not even, honestly, covering Big Brother is not even a significant source of income for me. Believe it or not. That's why they were kept there, got the drama. And the problem is when you get a social media influencer who's not even dramatic, because then you get somebody who does not know how to play the game and doesn't care about the game. So that's like Blue, the thing with Blue. She is not good at the game, but also she's not doing anything in the game to stir the pot, or she just, let me stay in the house as long as I can. The longer I'm in the house, you know, the better it's going to be for my page and the more opportunities it's going to be for me when I get out. I don't even think she's significantly concerned about whether she wins or loses, quite frankly. I'm taking a nap because I'm going to the Eagles game later. Oh yeah, I forgot that you're in Philly. I'll keep a tab up for the view. Thank you. I'm ready for America to go. I loved Frankie Grande as a player. And you know what? Frankie Grande, that's one of them. Also, a little known fact is that Hannah Chada was a recruit. Because I'll never forget when I did my interview of Hannah and I said, "Oh, you're a super fan. How long were you watching the show?" She said, "I started watching the show the same year that I went on the show, and I just binged it." And I was like, "What?" They touted you as the super genius, super fan. But actually, she was just the super genius that watched all the seasons back to back. And just because she's so smart, and also, I don't know, maybe she approached it like she was in school or something. Like, I'm a student of this game. I'm gonna study what everyone's done before and figure out my best way to make it through. We don't even know her as a recruit. She's a top tier recruit. It's your channel. You do what you want to do. Always. I always do that. I was watching Wendell's Survivor season again over weekend, and one guy that got voted out said it took him 16 years. I know, right? This is what annoys me. They have so many people that apply for this show that love the show, and they'll choose somebody for the sake of their social media page and how many people they have following them on social media versus choosing the average Joe or Jane that loves the game, has been following the game for years. Like, we need more of that. And I almost feel like, I know that Big Brother is a machine, Big Brother is a money maker. I get all that. But if you cannot make the show creative, fun, and entertaining enough for it to survive without you putting a bunch of people in there that don't know about the game, don't care about the game, then maybe it's time for the show to end. That's my feeling. Are you going to compromise the game just for the sake of getting viewers? I don't know. I'll never forget that competition where Caleb was like, where they all decided, the three of them, Caleb and Cody and somebody else, decided, okay, we want Frankie out. Probably Derek was involved in that. And he did the whole thing with one arm. I think it was that same competition that zombie thing that Cam did. I think Frankie did that by himself. I think Frankie did that by himself and won. And he was like, "This one's for you, Ariana." It's the BB community who ruins the game. People will praise evil dick. I think that's a whole side issue, though. I think the BB community is one issue. And I think the people that they draft to be on the show or cast to be on the show are another issue. Two separate issues. Hey, Edward. A super recruit, in my opinion. I think Tiffany and Tamar are super fans. Yeah, and if you ever hear Tiffany takes on the game, especially, honestly, to me, especially before she got on Winner's Circle and she was just doing her own takes on the game, Tiffany knows this game inside and out. I think Dave Vaughn was also a super fan. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Dave Vaughn was also a super fan. And she was very smart about the game. It's just that she had issues when it came to keeping her emotions in check when it came to the game. But in terms of her reads on the game, impeccable. In terms of Tiffany's reads on the game, impeccable. Tiffany just had a hard time with downplaying her threat level. That was her issue. Xavier was much better with that. I agree 1000%, Mark. They should actually watch the average. I agree. Hey, Edward, I don't know what Felicia is doing. Felicia doesn't know what she's doing either. Y'all, for anyone who's been commenting about at least Felicia's playing the game, or you think that I have something against Felicia campaigning against Sari, I don't have anything at all against Felicia campaigning against Sari. I just don't think that it's smart. I think that having two mamas in the house, both of them being in the game, benefit each other. I don't think at this point it would benefit Sari for Felicia to go home, because Felicia is kind of a shield for her, and vice versa. I think as it stood, Jag and Matt want America and Blue out first. 1, 2, 1 and 2, whichever order it happens. They want Blue out first, then America, but they considered America out first, then Blue. But either way, they want those two next, and then they want Sari and Felicia the next two. So I'm sitting here and saying, having the two of them in there, if they were working together, at least gives them a fighter's chance at one of them winning some kind of lucky competition, and then having the other one in there to help with the campaigning and to help with the votes and to help sway people away. Like at this point of the game, at this point in time, it does not benefit one to have the other out. But Felicia has it set in stone in her mind that I'm the one who keeps going on the block. Sari is not the one who keeps going on the block. So they favor Sari over me. Yeah, they favor Sari over you, but they're not trying to sit next to her in a final two chair. That's all that matters. So it's not the issue of, oh, is she going to be the third or the fourth or the fifth? The issue is clearly the two that are controlling everything, Matt and Jag. It should really be the whole house against Matt and Jag at this point in time, but they're not thinking that way. They have all these micro beefs that are not benefiting them. I was watching clips, and when I watched it, I was like, WTF, seriously. Hey, Mark, and everyone else just listening. Hi, Kalia. Good afternoon, Mark and chat. Hey, Ed. We got the Ed connection in the building. If Tiffany was in the game right now, fans would turn on her. Yes, they would. They're already turning on her for her commentary. They're already turning on her right now just for her commentary. Even though a lot of what she's saying is accurate. Felicia makes herself this is the thing. There's been multiple weeks where Felicia is in the cut and nobody's thinking about Felicia. And then her mind starts spinning. Oh, I got to set myself up for next week. Let me figure out what to do. Okay, I'm going to throw Sari under the bus because that's going to impact my position. Sari is not the top dog right now. That's why it doesn't matter if you throw her under the bus. She goes out before you, cool. You get a little more money for staying a little extra for her, a little extra, an extra week, basically. Because she'd probably be out the door the week after Sari goes out the door. I don't know if she thinks that she's working her way into a final three with them, but they're not viewing her like that. They are locked into this Jag Matt Bowie thing. Felicia don't care. It's another reason to root for her. Good afternoon, Joan. Felicia reminds me of my granny. Love her, but like she would just be talking and doing random stuff. I know, right? It's like you are so out of touch with what is happening in the game. And Felicia's a super fan. That's the other thing. Felicia's a super fan, and you hear her talk, and she remembers all these different things from all these previous seasons. She knows all the competition. She's predicted the order of when things are going down. I was just making sure this card didn't back into me. It's happened before. There's always internet trolls in the BB community who complain about a player being real instead of pumping fake all the time. Yeah, there's definitely always people like that. They don't like the player that keeps it real. I know, and I think that she feels like she survived this long because of how good she's been playing the game, but that's not it at all. Every single one of those weeks that she's been put on the block, they're like, listen, yo, think about this. Think about this, y'all. I know that this season has been so long that we can forget about things, but Felicia and Izzy were on the block next to each other, and everybody on Waffle Wednesday had decided that they were getting rid of Felicia. Felicia was the name. Felicia was going to go by unanimous vote. And then America fed that information about Red to Cameron. Cameron got pissed and started having these very intense conversations with everybody that said, where he said, if you leave Felicia, if you get Felicia out of the house and leave Izzy in the house, you're a dumbass. Because Cirie, Felicia, Cirie and Izzy have been controlling the game, and Jared and blah, 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 whatever he said. But prior to that whole thing happening, Felicia was supposed to go that week. And that was like a month ago. Everybody has been fine with Felicia leaving multiple times. And the only reason Felicia has been staying is because people have decided. Like, Felicia was sitting up next to Mimi. And people were originally like, yeah, Felicia's going to go. Mimi, you're safe for sure. Mimi, you're safe. Then they were like, I think Mimi is a bigger threat, and Mimi, we don't know what she's doing, and she's more likely to win a competition. So let's flip it up, get Mimi out instead. But everyone's comfortable with Mimi going with Felicia going every week. It's not because of her good gameplay that she's in the house at all. Nobody values her in an alliance either. They're happy that she's bringing them info, but they're like, okay, so that just means we get out this person before we get her out. Yeah, she definitely thinks she's in the final three, and she's clearly not. I applaud you for building up a community with people who can have different opinions. Imagine if you had the audience Tiffany has, you'd be in the same boat as her. To be quite frank about Tiffany's audience, by accepting her role on the winner's circle, it's hard to make money on YouTube without a sponsorship and without maybe a pre-existing channel that can say, if you make one video a week or 2 videos a week or whatever it is, you get X amount of dollars guaranteed. You know, like, I depend on super chats. My ad revenue, let me tell you what this is. Every 1,000 clicks I get on my videos, I get $1.66 for every 1,000 views, not clicks. Every 1,000 views, right? And you see my videos, they're like, I mean, I tell you guys I'm happy about how much they've gone up, but they're sometimes 200 views, 300, 500. A good video for me might be 1,000 views. And that's $1. So really I'm funded off of whatever I get in super chat. So she gets some kind of, you know, guaranteed money from whatever contract she gets on Winner's Circle or whatever. But the thing with Winner's Circle is that she's getting roasted by a lot of the Winner's Circle audience. And a lot of the Winner's Circle audience is the general BB community. So it kind of is what it is with that one. And actually, I listened to Tiffany talk about this. She didn't say it as explicitly as I'm saying it now. But I listened to this early season or maybe preseason thing that she did with Cody. It was just her and Cody. And she talked about how since the time she's gotten on the winner's circle and started giving her views, that people have said a lot of crazy things to her that have impacted her mental health. But then she said to herself, you know, this is a job and I'm getting the bag. So you can sit down and hate and say whatever you want to say, but I'm getting money off of the attention that you guys are giving me. But it doesn't make it easy. Trust me. Well, what else is new? She did it yesterday too. So I guess she's just continuing her campaign. Hi, Danny. Cameron, those people tried and failed. This is our turf. Felicia is the cook. I know that's right. We can never be touched in that chat. This is what I'm telling you. Nobody in my chat is ever going to be blocked, canceled, shamed, or insulted for having an opinion. Yes, there are times when I will disagree with you and I will laugh at that opinion, but it's not a laugh at you. It's just a laugh because I think the opinion is off. Just in the same way, a lot of you have been like, Mark, your opinion is off. That's fine. We are not team unanimous over here. We are not team unanimous on this channel. If they change the next couple of comps, come on, they need to do that. It's not even fair at this point. I think I saw some statistic that somebody put up where they said it has been 85% mental comps this year. I mean, 85% physical, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat, Edward. You've never heard of any of what, Ed? What I'm saying about Tiffany? Which part have you never heard any of? I'm not really sure what part you're talking about. Yeah, so I mean, I just feel like you got to be willing to stand on your product because that's what I did. That's what I did with my channel. Especially during the double eviction night this Thursday. I need anyone outside of Matt and Bowie to break up the Minuteman. I know, like, just fast forward these next 3 weeks. I'm getting so tired of hearing Jag talk about how easy it is. Yes, about Tiffany. Oh, yeah, well, I guess I have more of a vested interest since the time that I started doing coverage versus when I was just, you know, watching. Because I started to look at all the other channels that succeed in the podcasting, in the Big Brother vlogging game, and just watch the type of videos they put up and what makes them successful. Obviously, the Winner's Circle and Royalty, they both get a little bit of a boost, obviously, because these are former Big Brother contestants. So the Hitman have an audience that is based upon they have both won on Big Brother. Derek won season 16, Cody won season 22. Tiffany didn't win, but she finished in the top, top 6? Yeah, I think, yeah, she was the first one out of the cookout that they took out. So yeah, top 6. So they get that boost. And then there's Tiffany, Hannah, and Big D being 3 cookout members. So they obviously get that boost and that assists with the sponsorship. I'm not going to say that's all of it because not everybody who has been on a show is good at making a podcast or speaking like that. So, you know, credit where credit is due in that regard. But like I said, there's 2 different ways to get money with that. And one is to be really popular, you know, just organically build up this big following and become really popular. And another is to kind of make a deal and be under contract. You make X amount of vlogs, you get X amount of money for that. I understand that. I mean, it's a way to guarantee that you're getting value for your time, because I've put in more time than any of these people. Not anyone in general. I'm not saying that I'm the one who, vlogs the most or does the most lives or anything like that. But definitely more than the most prominent channels, me as one person, I've put in more time than them for sure. 100%. When it comes to just, there's no team for me. There's no co-host. There's no partnership. There's no research team that brings all the information to the table for me and I just look at it. Everything that I get is on my own. Everything that I do is on my own. I hope Felicia goes on the block. Then I hope Sari wins HOH. I'm glad you respect our opinions because we're all different. Not everyone is a follower. But I'll tell you something. 80% of the Big Brother community are followers. I feel that I've tapped into a very small percentage of people who aren't followers. And the way how I did that was to just keep doing my channel my way. And the people found me slowly. Because you'll see other Big Brother channels that follow the trends and jumped from nothing to 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 8,000 followers. And they did it quickly. And I could have done that too, but I will never compromise myself like that. Not for the internet, not for a job. I am who I am 24/7, 365, and nobody's ever going to change or stifle that, period. I don't even think that anyone here is saying they're not Team Felicia. I mean, I know I'm not. I'm not saying that I'm not Team Felicia. I'm just saying I don't really think she's making the best moves for herself. You might think she is, but I do not. I do not think that Felicia is making the best move by trying to throw Sari under the bus. I think it benefits her to have Sari in the game as long as possible. The mamas together have minimized each other's threat level. I honestly believe that, despite the fact that they've been beefing for the last few weeks. If Mama Fee had stepped in that house and Sari was not there, she could have been out very early. I think that Sari would have lasted a little bit longer than Mama Fee. Without Mama Fee, like Sari without Mama Fee would have lasted a bit longer. But I think that Mama Fee also minimized Sari's threat level because they're both there together. And they formed this tandem. They're the mamas. A lot of the people are missing their moms. So they go to them for mama advice. Sari and Felicia cook everything. They do all the cleaning. They do the dishes. They're the people that when somebody is crying, oh, it's like having my mama here. They go to them and they hug them and they're giving them advice. It's just a game. Don't worry too much. You have your whole life ahead of you, blah, 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 hugging them. That's the people that they trust. And that's part of the reason why they're still there. That is part of the reason why they're still there. But it works as the mamas, plural. It would not be as effective as it is with just one of them. That's my belief. They benefited each other, whether intentionally or unintentionally. I was going to say I'm a Felicia lover, but I don't like the way she moves at times. Well, no, not the best moves. She's the most entertaining. None of these folks are actual game players. But what's frustrating to me about Mama Fee is she is not afraid to make moves, but she doesn't win. So she's only had one opportunity to make a move, And the week that she had that opportunity, I think she picked the wrong person. I mean, I will say that's not her decision that she made by herself, but Heisem should still be in there. That would be beneficial to them. Because with Heisem in there, they wouldn't be like, oh, we're just going to cakewalk through this thing. Red should still be there. I don't think they should have gotten rid of Heisem or Red. Cam, I'll give you that. They should have got rid of Cam, but they shouldn't have got rid of him when they got rid of him. They should have gotten rid of him instead of Red. Then again, I know they did put Red and Cameron on the block together, and Cameron won and got himself down. But I think that they should have just kept targeting Cameron. Oh, I put that one up already. Good afternoon. Is Jag talking about putting up Sari next? The last that I heard him say is that he doesn't want to put up Sari next. He wants to put up America next. The last that I heard, he wants to get out Blue this week and America next week. And then he's saying he will probably get out Sari the following week before Felicia, when previously he was saying Felicia would be the following week. So basically next week, because this week is a double eviction. So because it's a double eviction, it would seem that if everything stays the same, unless America wins the HOH on Thursday, which I would low-key kind of like to see, because she would for sure put up Jag and Matt, unless she's really dumb. Unless she's really dumb, she would be like, yo, I'm swinging for the fences at this point, because this is my only shot to win this game, is if I take out Jag and Matt. Jag or Matt, one of them. When Felicia had the power, she did make the biggest move. But yeah, I agree. It was definitely the biggest move that she could have made at that stage, but it wasn't the smartest, because this is someone who was in her alliance and wasn't targeting her. I believe him fully when he said, when we got down to like 7 or whatever, then, you know, we think about what we're going to do from there. But I fully believe him when he said he wasn't going to target Felicia or Sari up until that point. Was the worst move getting out Heisem or Bowie getting out Cam? The thing with the Cam move, she basically just transferred her membership from the Cam club to the Jat club. So I can't even really say that it was a bad move for Bowie. It just wasn't her move. Second, no. And if they did, they're going to regret it. Heisem was ready to jump ship. I'm not mad at the move. I don't remember that. I don't remember him being willing to jump ship. More of Felicia getting rid of Heisem because Cam needed to be gone. And if he was jumping ship, I don't think he was going to be targeting the Mamas. I think that he would have been willing to target Jared. I think he would have been willing to target Izzy. But I really genuinely believe him when he was like, I'm tired of all the older people getting out and I want to protect them. I do believe that. I guess one issue, though, is that they clearly didn't really value Heisem in that way. So he was a part of their alliance, but he was more of an outside part of their alliance. So I guess word was like their best bet, the same way how Sari has been nurturing her relationship with Matt. Sari should have been nurturing her relationship with Heisem as well. She wasn't doing that. They were laughing about him. So yeah, what I was trying to say, or my conclusion, my point, is that I think that it's okay to have a couple of recruits, 2 or 3 recruits. You know, not everybody has to be a super fan or even a fan of the game to be on the game. Because there's examples of people I have on this show and other shows that didn't even know the show when production reached out. And now there are all-time players in history that people remember. So it's possible. But it's not possible when half the cast or more is in that category. Give us like a few of them. If you have 16 people cast, you can give us 3 or 4 recruits just to shake things up a little bit. Give us a few super fans because we can't have everybody being a super fan. And then give us a middle section of people who, like somebody like me as an example, who has not watched every season, but has watched a good amount of the seasons. So I don't know like every detail. I don't remember the order of all the comps. I don't know every classic player, but I know enough that I would know, you know, I'd have a pretty good idea of how to play the game. The season had so much potential. We had some powerhouse players, Heisem, Cam, Jared, and Jag. It did have potential, and I was excited about the potential, but I'm just disappointed in how it has played out. I would say if I was in the house and in the final 7 or 8, and if I'm sensing a double eviction, I would, during the night of double eviction, and getting my only real chance of getting a target out. I'm so ready for the season to end. Oh, one other thing I was going to say, in addition to, you know, I just mentioned the winner circle and I was talking about them. But in terms of the average person who is not on Big Brother, the average person who creates Big Brother content. And I'm going to say also, especially the average person of color. Because I've seen people who are not people of color who have pretty successful vlogging channels. But in terms of the most successful channels for Big Brother content that are people of color, the ones that have the most thriving pages for this stuff are the ones that focus a lot on the beef and they focus a lot on race specifically. Not in terms of me, where I will call something a racial issue when I can clearly see it's a racial issue. Some channels make everything a racial issue. And then there's other channels who thrive on beefing with other channels. Oh, there's not really enough Big Brother stuff to talk about, so let me talk about another channel and what the other channel is talking about. I'm original enough to make my own content just based on my own self 365 days a year. And I've been doing that. Obviously, I mean, yes, I'll mention something that I've seen on another channel, but normally the majority of the time, it's not even to say, oh, I hate this channel or that channel. It's just to say, I was watching this channel, this is what they said, and this is what it made me think about. And actually, shout out to the winner circle, because I have said before, I think that the winner circle was the first Big Brother vlog channel that I ever watched. When I started watching these, theirs was the first, because I have been, I was a big fan of the way Derek won. I thought it was so masterful and I didn't see it coming. And I was a fan of the way Cody won as well. I know it was a little different for him coming back as an all-star. And yeah, I do know that he spoke to people before, so it wasn't quite as, it was a little less impressive to me than a Derek win, but it was still well done and nonetheless. So I like both of them. I like their channel. Not everything that they speak about on the channel necessarily moves me, but I can appreciate their takes nonetheless, because there's things that I say that probably don't resonate with everybody who jumps on my page. I'm fine with that. The one thing that I do kind of hold as a badge of honor for myself is the fact that I don't let anybody control. There's nobody in control of my opinions. Yes, I will say that I've learned that sometimes I have to say things in a more politically correct way. That is true. Sometimes I'll think of something the way that I would say it if I was talking to somebody and watching the show and they were sitting next to me, versus the way that I would deliver it on my channel. But there's nothing at all that I would say on my channel that is not a real opinion of mine. Nothing at all. Edward, just to let you know, and everyone, just to let everybody know, I'm not going to be on tonight for a review, because I'm going to be out. My sister and I are going to a concert, so we're not. There's no way that I'm going to be back to see the episode tonight, so I won't be back here for a review. But I will be here Monday at some point. Maybe morning, but definitely by evening. All right, I'm trying to get back to the comments. This is a lot harder to do on the phone. The phone makes this a lot harder, so I'm trying to get to the end of your comments. Yes, I'm glad you stay out of the beef. It's toxic. It is, for sure. Hello, Edward Simmons. I wasn't watching the chat. Nice shades. Thank you. Oh, no. I don't know if I'm staying up till 10 just for a boring BB. And I'll admit that part of it, too. I'm not too sad about missing the episode tonight. I'm not terribly sad about missing the episode, because the episode is going to be boring. We already know what happened with the HOH. We already know that Jag won. We know that Jag's going to have all these arrogant conversations about, dude, this is a cakewalk, dude. Now all we have to do is get out America and then get out Blue, or get out Blue and then get out America, then get the mamas out. They can't beat us in any competitions. They suck, blah, 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 blah. It's just not entertaining anymore. Especially Jag winning. That was worst case scenario for us entertainment wise. Worst case scenario. I'm like, let Sari pull out a win. Let Mama Fee get a win. Let America get a win. Let Blue get a win. Anyone but Bowie, Jane, Matt, and Jack. Anyone but them. Now Jag is building up this crazy comp resume to the point where he doesn't even care about upsetting the people. My guy is just like, let's just win out. Who cares about jury management? Let's just win out. And it's funny that he's calling it, oh, we're just doing classic BB right now. Classic BB, which is just Everybody duke it out. May the best man win. I'm like, that's not classic BB. Classic BB is setting up the best strategy. Surprising people, but not in a way that is really personal. In a way where you can explain, I didn't really promise you this. I said it this way because I had to be slick, because I'm working with such and such a person, to where they're like, even if I'm mad that you made this move, I have to respect the game. That's not the way that this team has played out. I would love to see a blue HOH. I hope she even makes it to even be able to get an HOH. I don't care about this episode either. It's not entertaining at all. I'm ready for those seasons to end. I am too. And by the way, when the season ends, I'm going to be covering the new season of The Challenge. I still haven't watched House of Villains yet. I'm going to continue covering that. I've watched the first episode of House of Villains, and I put my recap on my page. At some point before the third episode comes out, I'm going to watch the second episode. When the Traders US comes back, I'm going to be covering that. I'm going to cover Survivor. I'm going to cover The Circle. What else? What else? I think that's it on my roster for now. But I'm saying that because I hope y'all will join me for some of those. I learned last season and last year that Big Brother is the machine. So a lot of viewers are here, not just for me, but specifically because I'm covering Big Brother. And a lot of people leave in the off season and come back when the next Big Brother comes on. So I recognize that a good portion of people leave in the off season, but I'm just letting y'all know, if you watch other shows, I cover other shows. So I will still be here. I'll continue to be here. If you are someone who takes a break and comes back during the next season, I'll see you next season. But if you still want to see my coverage, I have a lot of things that I cover. I just listed about, 6 shows. Jag is going to get surprised. He is. And he's probably going to get some hot questions. Sitting in the final 2 chair, he's going to get some hot questions. Second episode. Oh, so they're dropping all the episodes on YouTube so far, because I know they dropped the first one on YouTube also. Actually, thanks for saying that. Maybe when I hop off here, I'll put that episode on right now, because I'm just waiting to pick up my sister. No Fear to make a move on that show. Yeah, I love how that show is going so far. I love how that show is going so far. All right, y'all. So I'm going to be on here for another 5 minutes. But I just want to make another request, because I have not done so yet today. I always do it when I'm on my computer because I'm able to check the likes on my phone. But because I'm only on my phone right now, I did not bring my computer with me. I don't know whether the likes and the views are matching up. I'm just going to assume that they're not, because only one time so far have I had an equal number of likes to views. So we have 28 viewers in here, and I hope to have 28 likes.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
So please hit the like button. Help the likes to like. I definitely appreciate all of you who are on here. You know, there's 28 people on here. It's not like it's the most people I've ever had on here, but at the same time, I'm not talking about Big Brother updates, really. I'm not talking about something new that happened on the feeds. I'm just having a general conversation about Big Brother. And that's the thing I love about the community. If I'm like, I'm going to come on here to talk about this side topic, y'all are here. If I'm like, if something big happens in Big Brother, obviously y'all are going to be here. Obviously, when something big happens on the show, it'll be 30 of y'all plus an extra 40, 50 people who are here because of whatever happened on the show, like Luke saying the N-word, Blue, Jared revealing to Blue about Sari being his mother and big things like that. I've had my numbers inflated during those times, but the most important thing is not the people who jump on because of the events. It's the core people like you all who stay on here no matter what the topic is, just because you support me. And I strongly appreciate that. Some people only show the appreciation based on the numbers that they have, or based on the hype, based on the people who jump on there when things are at their hottest. But I appreciate the people who stay consistently during the peak times, during the medium times, during the low times when I have 10, 15 people on here. Y'all are the MVPs. Usually after BB, there isn't much fun to watch. I don't watch Love Island or any other shows like that. This year, we're getting so much because of the writer strike. However, the Buddy Games was an epic fail. It's okay. I mean, I'm gonna be here. If you come back during the Big Brother season, that's fine. If you watch my other coverage, that's fine too. I accept it. I used to take that in a more personal way after the first season, because those who are on my other channel, I have 2,000 subscribers on that channel. And the night before Big Brother ended, I had 400 people in the chat. I had 400 people viewing my live at one time, which is a huge number for me. And I thought that the train was just going to keep rolling from there. So the day after Big Brother, I'll never forget, I hopped on for a live the morning after Big Brother ended. I had 8 people in there after having 400 the night before. And I said, it's okay. It's going to grow from there. Maybe it was just because of the morning, the time of day that I had it on or whatever. I thought I was going to have the same number of people following me for my challenge content or for my whatever else that I was covering, circle, whatever. It never went beyond maybe 30 people viewing in the whole off season. And I'm like, well, wow, these people are really watching mostly because of Big Brother, not because of me. So this year, I feel proud of the fact that I organically started this channel, built it from zero, and got a large group that talks to me about a lot of things. Because I think success is not just about what can you do once. It's can you repeat that success and make it sustainable? Because anyone can just strike hot at the right time. You know, there's somebody like Taylor who was an algorithm queen. Anything you put up about Taylor is going up. Whether you're a toxic channel, whether you're a good channel, whether you're a great channel, if it's Taylor, she is going wild in the algorithms. I'm talking about last year. She's going wild in the algorithms. So a lot of channels got monetized off of the back of whatever Taylor was doing, to an extent, including mine. My Taylor content got my page a lot of views. This year, I've not had a good season to cover. I have not had a Taylor level of person to bring that kind of attention to my channel. So I've just had to sit here and talk about whatever. I'm here no matter what you talk about. I appreciate that, D. I've had to just come on here. There's days when I get on here, there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing of interest. And I'm just like, all right, guys, water cooler. Y'all have started to know what water cooler means for me at this point. Water cooler means I can't even bring myself to talk about Big Brother at this point because it's not interesting for me. But I still get my 20, 30 people solidly to get on here on those lives. I even had a water cooler with maybe 50, mid-50s. This was not the case last year. So I would argue that despite the fact that I have a third of the subscribers this year as what I had last year, these subscribers are much more dedicated than those ones. A lot of those ones were wave followers because they're just parked on the page and they're inactive. I go on that page right now and do a live right now, and it has 5 people on it. I go on a live on this page talking about anything, and there's at least going to be 15 to 20 with a third of the subscribers. So it's one thing to have subscribers that only show up when there's hot button topics versus subscribers who are excited just that you're on. You know, they're going to follow you for whatever. I don't think there could be another Taylor. Yeah, it was such a rare situation. It really was. And that's why, despite the fact that I never got the Taylor interview I wanted, despite asking for it, messaging her, meeting her twice, and asking her in person. I didn't ask her in person the first time I met her because it was more of a brief interaction. But the second time I met her, I definitely asked her in person. But I could never hate Taylor for not doing that interview with me. And I have no like pride or ego in this to say, yes, I really wanted that interview. It disappointed me not to get it. But I have to be thankful to her, despite the fact that she wasn't doing it for me. Just in general, I have to be thankful that she was on the show and she endured everything and she was able to make it through and not break mentally and everything. And all the entertainment and everything she provided to the show. Because it was during that little period of time that I was covering her when I got monetized. And without me experiencing that success, I would not have stayed to cover Big Brother. There's no way. That was the worst I watched. I'll support you no matter what you talk about, unless it's saying Ma's full undername. I can't even say it. It's too much for me. Username. One episode of Buddy Games. I watched like 10 minutes or 15 minutes of Buddy Games. I think it was last week Sunday when, Buddy Games is what date does that air? Buddy Games airs on Thursday, so maybe it was last week Thursday when the time ran over and Big Brother started 20 minutes late because of scheduling stuff, the presidential address. So that's why I saw 20 minutes of Buddy Games, but it was kind of background noise. Buddy Games has like one season written all over it. Lucky you, I suffered through 3. We're all gonna be here, Mark. Appreciate that, Deborah. The 20 minutes that I saw of Buddy Games, I'm not gonna say it's the worst thing that I ever watched, but how in the world is it getting an 8 p.m. prime time slot? That's my issue with it. If you put Buddy Games at like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. or something, 6 p.m., that kind of time slot, 5 p.m., you get off work, you go on buddy games, I'm cool with it. I would love to participate on something like buddy games. Because it's not exceptionally hard like Survivor or The Challenge. It's something where you got a bunch of people who, semi-athletic back in the day, but they're older type thing. I would love to be on a show like Buddy Games. I was surprised that Buddy Games has 200,000 or maybe 250,000 grand prize. I was like, that's a big bag for a show like that. I would love to be on a show like Buddy Games, but watching it doesn't keep my attention quite enough for me to say, oh yeah, I got to make sure to set my calendar for Buddy Games. I would like if Buddy Games was a 90-minute episode thing. Oh, we got the Buddy Games coming on, and it was like 3 episodes a year. I would be like, oh, this is kind of cool. Let me watch the Buddy Games. I remember doing things like what they've done on the Buddy Games. Stop, Cass. You're just being nice. It ain't working. LMAO ad. Why am I late to this live? It was one and done for me. Yes, agreed, Mark. That's why I like it, but it might not last long for me to get on. I would apply for Buddy Games, seriously. I would love to be on Buddy Games. Looks like an easy show. I spoke to Izzy. I got the same response from Izzy that I got from other people who were on this season. They were like, my hands are tied. Here's the email of production. Email production and ask them. This is my honest feeling, and I know I'm running over time. Yeah, this is my honest feeling about interviews and stuff like that with cast members and things. If you're Rob from Rob Has a Podcast, or if you're Derek and Cody, if you're Royalty, Big D, Hannah, if you have a name already in the, if you've been on a show, let's say that, if you've been on a show before, or if you have a channel that is a big name channel, that is already on this list that they have, then if you reach out to them and they've heard of you already, they know of you already, it's like, yeah, let's make that happen. But if you're a Joe Schmo who's like, hi, Izzy, I liked you on the show and I would love to have a channel, and you got to explain all that to them, usually they look at you like, who are you? I've had to start approaching people like, hi, because they don't just interview just based on their dynamic with you, because me and Izzy had a great conversation that night. I've had to be like upfront, hi, I've interviewed Alyssa, Hannah, this one, this one, this one, this one. And then they'll hear some names and they'll be like, oh, so, you're somebody who other prominent people have interviewed with. So, okay, I might give you a shot. It's like that. That's what it's like. It's hard to get these interviews. I don't have the plug. I hang my hat on the fact that I have gotten 10 reality TV interviews without anybody's assistance and without a connection in this game. I have never gotten one interview based on a connection. And the truth is, I actually have a few people's personal contact that I have interviewed and a few people's personal contact that I have not gotten to interview. But I kind of refuse to try to use the relationships I have with them in those ways to be like, hey, I need you to get this and this and this person. I have, for an example though, said, all right, I interviewed this person that you know, that you're friends with. Like, for instance, when I first met Sam, I said, I've interviewed Chaz. And that was like, oh, you interviewed Chaz? You good money because you interviewed Chaz. That's my guy, you know. Or like Hannah knew, even though she didn't tell me until the interview itself, but she already knew that I interviewed Alyssa, who she's friends with. So maybe in that kind of way. But I don't know. It might be rambling. You might be understanding what I'm trying to say. We did games like that at reunions too. Oh, like class reunions, yeah. Footy game came a couple years too late. That would be kind of cool. I would love to reconnect with my class and do something like that. The problem is, I'll be honest, me and my class we're not connected like that. So it would never happen. It really does. It's okay. We love overtime. Hey, Mark. Hey, guys. Lisa, hold on. I don't know what time Lisa put her comment in. Somebody put in the chat. If it shows you the time that Lisa put her comment in, let me know what time Lisa put that comment in. Because we're going to start making a jar. I'm going to get a jar that shows how many times Lisa comes after I say I'm going to leave. I'm going to put a nickel in that jar. And at the end of the year, I don't know, maybe I'll take myself a nice vacation. Hi, Lisa. I think it was a writer's strike and Josh Duhamel who ended. If I could play a game, if I could really choose to play any game in this world out of all those games that are out, it would be the challenge. I just honestly think that the challenge as it is now is too hard for me to play. But if I could pick one game out of any game that's out there, it would be my lifelong dream to get on the challenge. That's my show. Oh, I missed the last part. I'd go with my brother and we'd split the million 80-20. Whoa, that's a tough ratio, man. I feel like if I went with a sibling, we would have to make a 50-50 agreement or a 60-40 maybe at the most. That's the most I would say. All right, the winner gets the extra 20%. 80-20? No way. Not if we were both on the show. Right? 80-20? Remind me not to go on a show with Ed, please. Remind me not to go on a show with Ed. Oh, family reunions. Okay. We have 22 likes and 27 viewers. So the math is almost mathing. Please help the math exactly. I need 5 more likes. Oh, now we have 31 viewers. Excuse me. I need 9 more likes. Yeah, Lisa is always late. I'm actually starting to think that Lisa does this on purpose. Maybe she lurks in the chat and then she's like, okay, he said he's about to leave. So I'm going to wait about 5 to 10 minutes because I know he's not going to leave immediately. So in about 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to jump in there and be like, hey guys, I just saw this. I'm starting to believe that Lisa is lying to me. I would do Survivor too. That would be a show I would love to win. And their prize is $1 million. I'm sorting Tupperware. Really add. Okay, now I have made it to the end. This might be my only live of today. That's also why I didn't have a big problem with staying on here longer. But yeah, just reminding everybody, I'm not going to be on here. I know that I'm usually on here, but I'm still on my trip. I return home tomorrow. So starting Tuesday, I'm going to be back on my home schedule that I can actually give you guys my regular times. But today and tomorrow, this will be my only live, most likely. And let's see. Tomorrow, I'll probably give you one live as well. And that might be evening, early evening. Yeah, I don't think the Jag is going to use the veto. I don't see any reason why he would use it. He has his two people that he wanted up there. The only question is, are the mamas going to stand together and make Jag have to decide the Blues going home? Or are they all going to just agree with what Jag wants and make it another boring, unanimous week and vote Blue out? The challenge season 39, it looks really good. It has a lot of returning vets. It has CT in there. It's got Jordan is coming in there. We got Cara Maria, my all-time favorite. Well, I don't know. Maybe absence makes the heart grow fonder. Not absence makes the heart grow fonder, but maybe she's been absent so long that I started to love Cam on the challenge, Killer Cam. But one of my all-time favorite females on the challenge is Cara Maria. Probably still my favorite, but I just haven't seen her on there in so long. No, I'm not doing an episode recap tonight. I have the days off tomorrow. What was the comment that I was trying to look at? Okay, I missed this one. This is the one I was trying to read. I just saw Kylan on a who's going to be there, and they don't have. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, he's going to be on the next challenge. Yeah, the thing is, Kylan's page, I remember last year, not last year, actually, it was this year. It was this year when I was about to interview Alyssa. And for those who don't know about my interview process, not only do I watch all the episodes of the show that they were on, so I watched all of Alyssa's episodes of Big Brother and also her episodes on the Challenge USA 1, because the Challenge USA 2 hadn't filmed at that time. So that was everything she had done up to that point. And then also I looked around for different Alyssa interviews. I didn't watch all of them, of course, but I watched a good amount of interviews. And one that I came across was a podcast interview that Alyssa did with Kylan. And I had no idea that Kylan even had a podcast. So I looked at the podcast. I kind of liked, I thought the episode was pretty good. But his channel at that time, I don't know if it has changed between now and then, but his channel actually did not have a lot of subscribers. So that just showed me even getting on the show and getting far in the show is not a guarantee that you're going to get the subscribers. And he works really hard, so it's not easy. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. And like, what else is weird, right? As an example of something else that's weird. When I was going to interview Sam, I looked around on YouTube to see what's happening, what kind of interviews she's done on YouTube. She had a few. She didn't have many interviews on YouTube. But when I looked, she had a channel. She had a YouTube channel. And she did vlogs where she would vlog herself going shopping and doing different stuff. And she had vlogs in her apartment with her grandma and with her mom and different things. And she even, after she won the show, made a vlog about the month leading up, saying her goodbyes, the packing that she had to do to go to London. And I would just automatically think that because she has 800,000, like almost 900,000 TikTok followers and 200,000 plus Instagram followers that it would automatically mean that anything she throws on YouTube is going to just go crazy with it. But I actually spoke to her before we were doing the interview and some after, and she was like, I would love to do, in YouTube vlogs, but they haven't picked up any traction. So who's young Janelle? Are you talking about Janelle from, I don't know who young Janelle is. I just know Big Brother Janelle, and I know a Janelle that was on The Real World and The Challenge. So I don't know which Janelle you're talking about. But you saying that, Deborah, I would love to kind of connect with people like that, because what I have learned from just talking to these people, even though I only have 10 interviews with them, I've spoken very deeply with many people from these shows, even if they didn't agree to do an interview with me. They've spoken to me about a lot. I mentioned her a few times. I would have loved to have Amira on this channel, even though the questions that I was originally going to give her were Big Brother questions and Challenge USA questions. You realize when you watch back a season of a show in order to interview somebody and you're watching it from the point of view of just that person, you tend to see how little each person's story gets highlighted. And it's not a fault of the show, because if you have 17 people on the show, we're not focused on getting Felicia's story out there. We're not focused on getting Corey's story out there. We're not focused on getting Blue's story out there. But all these things that we're guessing about them, wouldn't it be cool to actually see a full kind of documentary of these house guests, instead of just, oh, why did you make this move? Week 10, you put this person on the block. This week you did this. What did you like this showman? How do you feel about this person? Blah, blah, blah. We get all those questions every year. I've even repeated some of those questions, so I'm not excluding myself. But wouldn't you like to see me, let's say Blue gets off the show. This is just me speaking out loud. I always think about this stuff, but this is just me kind of speaking out loud, speaking some of my thoughts out loud. Wouldn't you like to see Blue gets off the show and seeing me walking around with Blue in New York City, and Blue is giving me the type of interview where she's like, this is what my upbringing was like. These are some of the goals that I've had in my life. This is where my mindset was at before Big Brother reached out to me. This was my process of preparing once I knew that I was going to be on the show. This is, things that I have gone through. This is my financial situation. This is, this is what my parents are like. This is whatever, versus just getting your standard A, B, C, D, E, Big Brother questions. I think that would be a really cool thing. And I think that a lot of them fear doing things like that, not even just because of opening up, but because of the Big Brother contracts. I think that a lot of them fear that they don't want to break any contract rules in those conversations. No, I don't play games except for Rocket League, which I haven't played in weeks. Yeah, set that up with her. It would be awesome. There's a lot of things that I could do that would be awesome, but unfortunately, they depend on the other party agreeing to do them. Like, there's so many people that I have so many ideas for that we could do specific things together, collaborations, and they don't answer, or they're like, nah, I can't do that, and I just have to move on. And there's things that I'm going to do on my own that are unrelated to TV shows, but I think that there's so many things that I want to do when it comes to my coverage of these TV shows that I've never seen done in the industry. And I've never seen them done in the ways that I want to do them. I wouldn't even have competition. Maybe I'd have competition after I do it when people sees it and they are like, "Oh, this is a great idea. Let me kind of copy that." But in terms of my original ideas, nah. They say you can steal the product, but you can't steal the factory. Basically saying I can put something out that you can see visually and copy it, but you cannot just swipe the idea and permanently sell with it, because you're going to have to grow and expand, and you don't know my vision. You just know what you see in front of you. What time did you fall asleep, Mark? I know you're up at 4 as well. I just got up to use the bathroom at 4, and I checked Twitter for about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I looked at the feed a little bit, and then I went back to bed. Tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I'm getting my call, and it's my time to go. And I will talk to y'all soon.